Dear Auntie, we still have no word regarding Daniel. We do not know if he accidentally slipped on the rocks and was carried away by the ocean, or whether he was disoriented and wandering about. If you hear any word of his whereabouts, please let us know. To know he is alive would be such a help, for we love him very dearly.
When my parents tried to contact Andy Warhol, there was just some really nasty statements made, like, what are they calling us for? Why would we care about that? Rather than, understanding why someone would be calling about their son. I mean, I would think that if it was a normal person, that they would be saying, well, what can we do to help? Not don't call or avoiding answering the phone.
Do you think they were afraid?
Well, that's what, I guess that was the question. What were they afraid of? Why weren't they willing to talk?
When Danny disappeared, my grandmother wrote him a letter, which I have. It says, "Dear Andy, we still have no word on the whereabouts of Danny. His disappearance is most disturbing to his family." How would Andy feel about getting a letter like this, do you think?
Oh, I'm sure he was, saddened by it, but at the same time, he didn't let anything affect him. He didn't. You have to realize he was a very limited type of person, so he knew how to handle himself, and he wasn't that kind of person. People died. He just.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm wondering now, Danny Williams was your uncle. I'm just wondering if you could tell me about the inspiration for the film, why you wanted to make the film.
Sure. Well, my uncle Danny Williams disappeared in 1966, and he had been living at the Warhol Factory. Later, we learned that he was Andy Warhol's boyfriend. But actually, growing up, I didn't know very much about him. I knew that it was basically a taboo subject, and I knew that if I mentioned Warhol, everyone would get upset, which I was a rebellious kid, so that was kind of exciting.
Sure.
But I could tell that there was family pain around his disappearance, and I went to film school, so I was really interested. I knew he'd been involved in film. I knew he had worked with the Maisels as an editor before I went to the factory. So I had some basic facts about him, but nothing sort of definitive. And in that strange way, I think every family has subjects that you don't talk about, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
most people have, like, whether it's Uncle Roy's first wife or whatever it is, and literally no one will ask a question about it, but everyone knows about it. And Danny, my Uncle Danny, was that in our family. He was the thing that everyone knew about and nobody talked about.